Hi, everybody. It's Mike from Here the Watchman. And today we have an exciting guest with us. What I wanted to do, because there's so much out there about the events that unfolded in Las Vegas, I really wanted to get a veteran's view of the overall perspective. We had Lisa Haven on the day, who had some really interesting stuff to say. And if you've watched the news and you've gone to the non-fake news, Drudge and some of the other people out there, you see a lot of stuff going on. You'll see that the sheriff, the Las Vegas area, is now coming out and saying that the shooter had to have had help. And there's a lot of unanswered questions. What happened to the suicide note? What happened to the woman that was running through the crowd saying that people were going to be there's just so many unanswered questions, and it's going to take a while for the truth to seep out. But today we're going to get a chance to read on the situation. He's a veteran, a Navy veteran, has dedicated his life to serving veterans and serving our country. And so, Chance, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
You're absolutely welcome. I am honored to be on the show today. And without going down some huge rabbit holes, I actually do have something to say here. Number one, more important than anything else, folks, our prayers go out to the victims of this evil and horrible tragedy. Number one. We find more and more of these incidents happening not just here, but across the globe. And I got to tell you, it's getting to the point where if we don't start speaking up, if we don't start taking action, if we don't start protecting our rights, number one, our First Amendment rights to free speech, but our Second Amendment rights to bear arms, they're going to be taken away from us. And that comes from a veteran point of view. Trust me when I say, we're already seeing this Feinstein in Congress, step by step, trying to take apart this horrible tragedy and turning it into something that has nothing to do with anything. Okay? That being said, I wasn't there. Mike wasn't there. None of us were there. Okay? But we're starting to get some information and from some credible sources that are telling us a different story. Now, I was emailed early this morning by a friend, and I want to read this to you. I was alerted about this video by a subscriber whose brother drives a limousine in Las Vegas. He's spoken to several other drivers and bellmen at the Bellagio Hotel and the Flamingo Casino and Hotel, and others surrounding Mandalay Bay. All reported. Now, folks, please hear me. All the bellmen reported that their lobbies were shot up Sunday night. They're not saying they heard gunfire. They're reporting their lobbies were shot up last Sunday night. She says this indicates that more than one gunman was involved in the horrifying events that evening. Now, it goes on, but the rest of it doesn't really matter. We've also received reports of some injuries that took place. One guy, unfortunately, got shot in the chin, and I'm going to use this for demonstration purposes. He got shot through the chin, at the bottom of his chin, and went out his head. Now, unless this, and I'm a shooter, unless this was a very high, powerful ricochet, that doesn't happen. Right? You've got to penetrate the bone, go out through the skull. Not to get too graphic, folks, but that just doesn't, that sounds like that was somebody on the ground. Now, again, we weren't there, and I'm not trying to speculate here, but here's what I do know. And Mike, I'm sure you'll agree. I wasn't always in the military. I served in security for many years as a supervisor. And one of the questions that anyone doing any type of investigation, whether it's theft, which we dealt with a lot, or this particular case, is why? Okay, who, what, where, why, and how, but why? What's the motive? What is this person's motive for killing all these people and then killing himself, right? What was there to gain? Now that's the question. The other question that I find just interesting, and I'm just going to throw it out there, knowing that when an investigation takes place, they tape off the area, they rope off the area, no one's allowed in, they collect the evidence, and when the three-letter alphabet agencies are involved, you don't see pictures, okay? They don't share those, okay? These are pictures taken at the crime scene, and now all of a sudden they're published. Okay, I find that very interesting. Now, Mike, I haven't even shared this with you because I just got it. Doing research for this show, I came across a YouTube video, and folks, this has not been vetted, okay? Repeat, this has not been vetted, but I need to read it to you if I can here. On the top of a YouTube video that was pulled down by a YouTuber, if you want to check this out for yourself, STRONTIUM space Milks, MILKS, Strontium Milks. Put this YouTube video up, and in the last 20 seconds of the video, there's this text that he puts at the top. He doesn't talk about it, but he just throws it up there, thinking that, I think that if he talked about it, it'd probably get taken down immediately. And this is what it says, folks. Again, this has not been vetted. I'm just reading you what I saw. Quote, the LVMPD, that's the Las Vegas Police Department, knows the motive behind the attack, but the FBI will not allow us to release the motive because it implicates the FBI in illegal arms deals supplying arms to ISIS. Stephen Paddock was an undercover FBI agent who participated in multiple illegal arms deals in the Las Vegas area in a gun-running entrapment scheme similar to Fast and Furious. Paddock thought he was engaging in another routine arms transfer, but ISIS had learned about this entrapment scheme and Paddock's true identity. It goes on from there, and I won't go into the rest of it. It's just food for thought. I find it very interesting that this has been taken down so many times, but it sounds like something that we need to look a little bit more into to get down to why this was done. The brother let it slip when he was being interviewed, and this came off of InfoWars. The brother let it slip that that Stephen was somehow involved in the military, and all of a sudden he stopped himself. And so I found that very interesting. It's like he had something in his ear, someone saying, be quiet. But the point is, this was a horrible tragedy, and it will cause even more division than we have seen up to this date. I also find it interesting that the people that they're blaming for this, the people that they're saying white supremacy and the cause for all of this, folks, they're not the ones doing the shooting, okay? They're not the ones getting in vehicles and mowing people down. Now, I know I sound upset, but we've got this kind of behavior is unacceptable anywhere, here or anywhere else in the world. It's unacceptable. And we need to stop this bickering, this fighting between conservatives and liberals, between black and white. We've got to stop. As a matter of fact, we need to come together as a remnant. We have to stand together, side by side, for what is right and the truth. And all of you listeners know what the truth is, and that's the word. All right. Mike, I know I kind of went off.
Well, you know, no, that's all right. I mean, you're absolutely right. I did see that report where they claim to have, and again, folks, it's not vetted yet, but they claim to have an email from an, suggesting the whole gun running and the cover up there. There's just a ton of stuff going on around there that, is flying through the internet. So I want to urge you all to use some discernment. You know, don't automatically forward stuff out to, you know, your entire email base and your Facebook friends and all that. Take a little time, pray about it, think about what's there. Now, I will tell you this, Chance, and this is interesting. YouTube decided to change their YouTube is the largest search parameter out there right now, I think, next to Google, and they're changing the way that search engine works so that people will only get what all accurate news, and that's frightening, and that's one of the fallouts from an event like this. Now, do you see in a way that this is all being spun to, again, you know, kind of control what we hear and control what we see so that we all march down the same path and go further and further down towards the new world order?
You know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do enjoy history. And history tells us one thing. If you allow them, one by one, they will take away your rights. And you mentioned YouTube and that search engine. So what does that fall under, Mike? I think that's the First Amendment. Who is to say, what is the definition of true or fake news? Well, we look at the mainstream media. They take one news story and they spin it in their direction. And let's say CNN. Then we take another news channel like Fox, and they spin it in their direction. And by the time they're done, we've got two different stories, okay? But then we've got real good reporters out there, researchers out there that are on YouTube, on the alternative media, that are diving in, and they're doing their homework, and they're doing the research, and you're getting the raw data, the real truth, okay? You've got WikiLeaks out there that is exposing some of this evil, this corruption that they never wanted you to find out about, right? So what is that definition? You tell me.
Yeah, it's frightening stuff. It's a frightening path that we're going down, folks. Unless we stand up, unless we put it out there, and unless we go to God and ask God for his help and protection, we're going to lose this battle. There's no doubt about it. And I like, Chance, the way you brought that in. You know, folks, I see stuff, you know, obviously now with my YouTube channel, I get tons of people emailing me and in the comments sections of the videos that we post. And, you know, I've had several people say they were all actors. It's all a false flag. Nobody got killed. Nobody got injured. Let's look at that. They did. Their people died in this attack. If it's a false flag, it's a false flag. I'm not going there, but where I'm going is nearly 60 people that we need to be praying for their souls. There are also over 500 people who were injured. I think it's 30 some plus of those critically injured that are in the hospital, and who knows when they will get out. You know, so, you know, that's what we have to pray for. And don't go down that path where you're telling people like nobody got injured. That's an insult, a complete insult to the families who lost their loved ones and the ones that were injured. But Chance, I appreciate the fact that you brought into this interview today that we need to pray for them. And it's just it's a sad time. Now, were you surprised at all? You'll notice that a lot of the individuals that rushed out there to aid the wounded were veterans. One veteran actually went and stole a truck, a work truck that was there, and transported injured back and forth with the police's help to the hospital. Are you surprised at all that that would happen with a guy that's been out of the service for maybe 5 years?
You know what? I'm not surprised at all, because one thing that they, from the very, very beginning, doesn't matter where you come from, whether it's Boston or California, when you get into the military, they're going to tear you down and they're going to bring you back up their way, right? And the one thing that they push is teamwork, 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 being a part of the team, doing the right thing, right? So a lot of these guys, even that I served with, I mean, they're corpsmen. This is what they know. This is what they did in the military, right? They have first responder training. We had to take training as firefighters, even though that's not what we did for our job in the military, right? Had nothing to do with it. We had to take medical training. We had to have CPR. We had to have first aid. So these guys will automatically be there of assistance, because that's what they're trained to do, to help people, to do the right thing. And kudos to them. You know, I take my hat off to them. Thank you, all of you out there that assisted helping these victims get out, get safe, and get to the hospital. Now, you said something, and I want to thank you for that. Not for 1 second should we ever say that this did not happen. Folks, this happened, okay? We don't have all the details, but a lot of people were killed and a lot of people were hurt. So don't go down that path, and don't say, you know, that this didn't happen and people didn't get shot. Okay, this is not some Sandy Hook. Okay, this is the real deal. Okay, we don't know who's behind it. But take a lesson. Take a lesson from this. Number one, don't be fearful. You imagine how cheap it is to probably go to Vegas right now. I've already had phone calls and emails. Oh, I'm supposed to go there next month, and now I'm afraid to. Folks, fear comes from Satan, not from the Lord, okay? Don't let them make you become a hermit, be paralyzed in fear. Okay, I just talked about this on our show on Tuesday. They win when you let fear overcome you. They win. Don't allow that to happen. Instead, do what a good bouncer or someone that's in security or law enforcement does. When they enter a room, they look around, they're trying to find their nearest exit, right? How do I get out of here? Do they ever face the wall? No, they don't face the wall. They face the room, and they try to face themselves in a direction where they can see the doors, right? They can watch everything. Think like that, and you're going to be okay. But don't be fearful. Don't be paralyzed. Just be in prayer. That's all I can say.
Amen to that. Now we've got a few minutes left here, folks. Chance owns a company by the name of American Survival Wholesale, and they will be at the Hear the Watchman conference in Dallas, Texas, March 22nd through the 25th, where they bring an amazing display of the products that they have available to help you prepare physically for what's to come. Chance, what's going on right now over there at American Survival Wholesale?
Well, we're excited. This year's booth at Hear the Watchman Dallas is going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be kind of a storytelling booth as you go through it. So I'm really looking forward to that. We are launching our YouTube channel, which is Chance with a capital C, space ASW, and ASW is capitalized. So capital CHANCE space capital ASW. Please, folks, I do ask you this. Go to YouTube, watch our training. It's free of charge. Hurricanes, earthquakes, floodings, home security, etc. Watch those videos. Subscribe, please. That would help us a lot. Like those videos and share those videos. And when you're done watching them, if you feel like you would like to be a part of this team, we talked about teamwork, and you would like to help other people prepare, reach out to me. I can teach you guys how to make some extra money part-time, helping other people, which is huge. That's where I get up every single morning. So reach out to us. Our email is bugoutamerica@usa.com. BUGOUT America@USA.com. or feel free to call us any day but Saturday. Saturday's okay for prayer only. That's our Sabbath. But our phone number is 818-720-0759, 818-720-0759. If you have a prayer request, we have a normal prayer meetings, so if you would email your prayer request to bygodamerica@usa.com, we would be honored to take those to the Lord.
That's awesome, Chance. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for your service to our country. We're so pleased to have you and your beautiful wife as part of the Hear the Watchman family. And folks, do what you YouTube channel, subscribe to our channel. It's your way of staying in touch and getting relevant information to get you through this. Chance, again, thank you so much for being on the show today.
My pleasure. Anytime. I look forward to coming on again at some point.
Oh, and before I forget, folks, every Tuesday evening, Chance has a radio show. Chance, how do they listen to your radio show?
You can go to AmericanFreedomRadio.com, AmericanFreedomRadio.com. We've got now 5 shows under our belt. They're all timely. Folks, we don't really get into news, but we do talk about survival. We talk about preparedness and training. The information is priceless. We bring on experts in their own fields. Yeah, please go there, check out those videos. And pretty soon we're actually going to have those up on YouTube as well.
That's awesome, Chance. Well, listen, folks, that's going to wrap it up today for the Watchman Report. I want to thank you all for tuning in, for doing all you do. And remember, there's absolutely nothing that you can't do without Jesus in your heart, except nothing at all. So get out there, get busy, answer his call, be a part of the family, be a part of the team, as Chance so well put it, and join us in this battle against good and evil. Until the next time we see you here on the Watchman's Report, God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful evening.